Troy Tulowitzki. Home run number 7 for Blackmon. And this one's gone for Stubbs. And that's gone. It's almost comical.
Welcome to Arlington, Texas, and the Subaru Series, presented by Mike Shaw Subaru. Pretty night in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The Rockies continuing this 4-game set against Texas, and it's now the Rangers' turn to host at Globe Life Park. Good evening. Hi once again, everybody, with Jeff Hewson, the former Ranger. That was a nice little bit on the pregame show. I enjoyed that.
Well, thank you. It was fun.
You flip one behind the back again for us later?
I'll try.
All right, absolutely. Well, the Rockies have been rolling a little bit, in case you haven't noticed. 20 runs in the 2 games against the Rangers, and Texas has scored only 3. That's pretty good.
It is. This offense is cranking, and we could talk all day long about everybody in the lineup because that's how good this offense has been. There's nobody that's not doing their part.
Well, Drew Stubbs has had an opportunity the last couple of days, and the native Texan has thrown out 6 hits, 4 of which have been extra base hits.
Yeah, he only had 2 extra base hits in the first 25 ball games. So the last 2, as you mentioned, those 4 extra base hits. Also for Drew, he's hitting .294 against right-handers this year. His on-base percentage is above .350, so everything that you could hope for Drew Stubbs is really coming true. He got off to a little bit of a slow start. There's no doubt about that. He wasn't playing a lot, but now he's getting some regular reps. That swing's coming along, but he is also driving the ball to right center, right field. We saw that home run to center field. Everything is not a pull for Drew this year.
I think one of the other keys to the Rockies' success, 21-14 entering play today, has been in the absence of Michael Kadire. Barnes has stepped forward. We've talked about Drew Stubbs, and Corey Dickerson has stepped forward. And Stubbs and Dickerson with the DH, they're in there tonight.
Yeah, not many times do you lose a former batting champ in Michael Kadire and able to replace him with 3 guys that are really interchangeable. And it helps when you have the DH tonight because you can get that extra guy in there.
And taking the hill for the Rockies tonight, Jorge De La Rosa. It'll be just his 2nd appearance ever against the Texas Rangers. Rockies and Rangers, come on back to Arlington with us. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Well, they changed the name since the last time we were here 2 years ago. It's now to the ballpark at Arlington. It's Globe Life Park, but it's your old home, your old stomping grounds.
I still think of Ranger Stadium is what I think of. I don't think of Globe Life or the ballpark at Arlington. The Ranger Stadium was the old ballpark.
Yeah, I'm with you. Colby Lewis is on the hill. More on Colby in a moment. There's Charlie Blackmon, 2 hits last night, including a home run leading off the ball game, or leading off the bottom of the first. Second career leadoff home run for Blackmon. The rest of the Rockies lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Dickerson will act as the DH. He's hitting a cool .357. Tulowitzki's been pretty good. He's at .421. Cargo had 5 hits last night. Nolan Arenado with the 26-gamer. Justin Morneau, Drew Stubbs, Michael McHenry doing the catching tonight, giving Jordan Pacheco a break. And batting ninth will be the second baseman, DJ LeMahieu. Take a look at some of the numbers brought to you by Inova Cancer Care on Colby Lewis. Non-surgical treatment of prostate cancer. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, somebody that's had a couple arm problems has been Colby Lewis. He's missed it quite a bit of time, and it all started against the Rockies back in 2012. And his magic number is 91. That's the number of pitches that he's really averaging. So don't look for him to go past that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Colby Lewis really out of the game for a year and a half, rehabbing 2 surgeries.
It's like Nick Massett.
Very similar.
Yeah, both guys spend a lot of time with the physical therapist.
2-0 on Charlie. And this ball's driven to right field. It's going to hold up in the wind and be caught there by Alex Rios. Tell you what, there's an extreme wind blowing from right field to left field tonight.
Well, and if it gets up too high, that wind will knock the ball down.
Because that ball was hit pretty well. The defense for the Rangers brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Michael Choice is in left field. Leonis Martin in center. Alex Rios in right. Beltre Andrews, Donnie Murphy, and Prince Fielder with Robbie Chirinos behind the plate. Here's Corey Dickerson. Outside ball 1 on Corey. Dickerson went in the ballgame late as defensive replacement. Had 1 at bat without a hit, 2-0. Rockies, when they faced Colby Lewis down here 2 years ago, tore the cover off the ball. Walt Weiss, Tommy Runnels. Rockies had optional batting practice this afternoon. This is playable for Beltre.
Look how far
the wind moved that, honestly, folks, from about 15 feet in fair territory to about 15, 20 feet in foul territory. But the Rockies arrived very late, as did the Rangers, obviously, last night. Most of us got to bed in that 4 o'clock range. Tulowitzki, it's just absurd the numbers he's putting up. You know what? If a dad came up to you and said, your son did this in T-ball, you'd say, well, that's a proud dad.
Nice,
and then you walk away
you.
and say, okay, he's doing pretty well applied.
Well, yeah, or your mom just saying, boy, son, you really hit the ball well today. And, they just couldn't catch it. No, he's hitting it out of the ballpark, doubles, whatever he wants to do, he's doing it.
Runs a fastball at 88 in, and it's ball 1 on Tulowitzki.
And that's what you will get for Colby Lewis, 88, 89 miles an hour on the fastball.
He's got to be a crafty right-hander is what he has to be. And that ball, a slider away, and it's 2-0 for the 3rd straight batter. 34-year-old Colby Lewis. in there, 2-1. Rockies, by virtue of the 12-1 win last night against Texas, went 5-1 on the homestand. They took 3 of 4 from the Mets. 3-1. Rockies come into the ball game leading Major League Baseball with a .307 batting average.
Those numbers will turn everybody's heads.
Tulowitzki drives it to left. Look at that, another base hit. I don't know, honestly, and we're laughing about it. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy this hot.
Not for this long of time. I've seen some singles hitters where they're able to scratch out infield singles or lay down a bunt. In 19 for his last 29. That was something up in the zone. With Colby Lewis, it's going to be hard to tell the difference between his fastball and his changeup at times just because of the lack of velocity.
So Cargo, who has an 8-game hitting streak and had 5 hits and 5 at-bats last night, steps up. Shift is on, and that's down the right field line, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Cargo towards second. Tulowitzki is going to get a stop sign at third from Stu Cole. So the Rockies with 2 outs in business, and Nolan Arenado coming up.
Curveball from Colby Lewis, over the top dropper. Cargo just extends what he did last night with the 5-for-5 performance by leading off with this game with a double.
You know, Huey started the year with a 10-game hitting streak, hitting about .375. He's now got a 9-game hitting streak as he yells at his good friend Troy Tulowitzki, and they cheer a laugh. Arenado he could do us all some good and just alleviate any sort of drama later on and just throw a ball in the gap right now.
But the stress on him, let alone the stress on us.
Well, we made it yourself. He said he was thinking about it a lot more. Jenny, in the post-game show, they had the interview Mark did with him. How can you not?
Anybody would feel that way.
Sure. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arenado hitting .338 out on the road, which is the 6th best average in the National League. He's hitting 40 points higher on the road than he is at home, for all those people that think everything's a Coors Field creation. Ooh. That's a good block by Robbie Chirinos.
This 26-game hit streak. 353, 18 RBIs, a slug in .559. And with the hits, they've been everywhere. They've been up the middle. They've been grand slams, punch singles to right, and then, of course, last night, the double right on the chalk.
That's outside. 3 balls and a strike on Arenado. .3-1 down the line, fair ball. 27-game hitting streak, and he'll get it with 2 RBIs in the first. And the Rockies, with 2 outs, throw a 2 spot up. And Arenado has now tied Michael Kadire, who's applauding in the dugout, for the longest hitting streak in Rockies history at 27 games. Didn't take long, did it?
Nope. First inning, you asked for it, you got it. You get 2 things. You get the hit streak on the hanging slider at 27 games, but you also get the 2-0 lead and put it right back into the minds of the Texas Rangers that this ball club can hit, and it doesn't matter if it's Coors Field or Globe Life Stadium or whatever they call this place now.
Yep, hitting is hitting. Here's Morneau, and that bounces up there. And Arenado has the baseball. They called for it and tossed it into Alan Bossert. Nolan Arenado, Michael Kadire, the longest hitting streaks in Rockies history, 27 games. And you think about some of the great offensive players, the Larry Walkers, the Dante Bichettes, the Ellis Burks, the Todd Heltons of the world that never hit in that many, or really close to it.
Right, and all the hits that he's had during that streak. I mean, he's had a lot of games where it's 2 hits, sometimes 3 hits. 10 multi-hit games for Nolan.
Hitting above 350 during this stretch. 1-1 on Morneau. Outside 2-1.
Take another look at the hit for Nolan, right down the line. Wonderful balance again. And this was reminiscent.
I thought for a second
he's going to throw his glove.
He's going to spike his glove again.
He just took it off and held it this time.
This has popped up the elevator shaft, and Chirinos makes the catch to end the inning. With 2 outs, a bullet by Tulowitzki, a bullet double by Cargo, and then a bullet double by Nolan Arenado. Rockies up 2-0. Now, and Jorge De La Rosa has been staked to a 2-0 lead. Rockies were down here a couple of years ago. Shin-Soo Choo at the time was playing for the Cleveland Indians. Now he is starring for this Ranger club. On-base percentage of .500. He's had an incredible first 5 weeks or so. Rod Washington's lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Michael Choi's getting a start. We saw him late in the ballgame yesterday. Then Beltre fielder Rios, Donnie Murphy, Elvis Andrus, Leonis Martin, and Robinson Chirinos. And Choi's getting an opportunity in the 2-hole. Every day there's a new player in that 2 spot as Ron Washington's trying to find some production there. Let's take a look at the numbers on Jorge De La Rosa, brought to you by Inova Cancer Care.
They keep coming down. He was 0-3 with a 7.58 ERA in his first 4 starts. His last 3-0 with a 2.50. And because of that, the runners in scoring position just a little over 200. That's why he's winning games. Even if there's traffic out there, he's figuring out a way to limit the damage.
First pitch misses, ball 1, and all of that was brought to you again by Inova Cancer Care. Non-surgical treatment of prostate cancer. Visit InovaCC.com. This ball's well hit to right, and the wind will hold that up, and Charlie Blackmon makes the catch. Choo's looking out there, and I think it's the same thing as Blackmon. Both of those guys hit the ball with authority to right, but the wind really knocking things down. Charlie looking up at it. Rockies defensively brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Cargo, Stubbs, and Blackmon in the outfield. The familiar twosome on the left side and a familiar duo on the right side with Michael McKendry doing the catching.
Michael was in the ball game late last night after the changes. Give Jordan Pacheco a chance to get off his feet, but also for Jordan to play first to give Justin Morneau some rest.
And Michael Choice hits it in the air, left center field. Cargo and Stubbs, and may not have been able to hear each other. Drew made the catch.
Well, not with the wind. It's like playing out in the park. That wind's really howling. You're trying to yell at your kids and your buddies out there. Cargo puts out his left hand, letting Drew know that he has it. But Drew snuck in front of Cargo. Bottom line, it's an out.
That's all you care about as long as they don't collide.
Yes.
2 outs, and Adrian Beltre will come up. And the fastball in there for a strike, popped out of the glove of Michael McKendry. And Beltre sharing a laugh with Lance Barksdale, who's behind home plate tonight. Mark Rippiger is at first, Gary Cederstrom at second, and Kerwin Danley at third.
Yes, it is the same crew that we had back in Colorado.
Now, it's strange. It's the same crew because it's considered a continuation of the same series, but it counts for the Rockies as a 2-game sweep.
Figure all that out.
Yeah.
But because it's a change of venue, that's why it's considered a 2-game sweep.
Yep. Two-one. And that's lifted to shallow right. Blackman will come in. 3 fly balls. And that's all for the Rangers. We'll go to the second inning. Good start for Jorge. Rockies 2 and the Rangers nothing. Rockies up 2-0 in Arlington, Texas with Jeff Hewson and Jenny Cavnar. I'm Drew Goodman. Drew Stubbs will lead it off here in the top of the second inning. Fans will answer your questions during Toyota Talk. Text Toyota followed by your question to 720-720 and watch as your questions are answered during the 5th inning of every game. Potential for some weather tomorrow. I guess serious potential for some weather tomorrow, but tonight is most pleasant. Rockies have caught a break with their schedule down in Miami to start the season in very early April. Drew Stubbs takes inside. They're down here in Texas first part of May. They go to Atlanta the latter part of May, so they're staying out of the humans.
Yeah, and Philly is also on that trip to Atlanta, so they don't get the humidity in Philadelphia.
Yep. And Cincinnati also. Cincinnati can get smoking in the summer. And Rockies will be in Cincinnati over the weekend. Always liked this ballpark.
It was built all those ballparks around the same time. Camden Yards here, Coors Field, Cleveland.
Yes. 3-0 on Stubbs, and there's an early pattern. Colby Lewis, to me, is a guy that doesn't trust his stuff.
No, when you're falling behind on every hitter like he is, you just don't have the confidence that you have any pitch to get a big league hitter out.
I said it when this series began. The Rockies caught a break, missing the ace, Yu Darvish. Rios in right makes the catch, 1 out. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Live Mas at Taco Bell. We've been handing those out. Right, we haven't done anything, but the Rockies have been handing them out.
The guys with the lumber at the plate have.
Here's Michael McHenry. Michael was excited about playing here because the Pirates played in Arlington last year, but he had gotten hurt and was out for the rest of the season. It's one of just a few ballparks now that he's not played in.
Check it off the bucket list.
Yeah.
It's always exciting when you go to a ballpark that you haven't played in yet, because you see it on TV, but you also want to see what it's like, what the locker rooms are like, how the field is.
Down the line, Beltre throws it across. This does get McHenry. Good speed up the line by Michael.
It's a start like last night. Last night between Beltre and Nolan, they combined for 10 putouts.
Both of those guys get to a lot of baseballs that other third basemen do not. So with 2 outs, DJ LeMahieu steps up. Rockies playing their first games this year in an American League ballpark.
Well, it kind of stunned me because I'm thinking it's the number 9 spot. I was looking for Jorge to come to the plate. Like, nope, that's right. It's the DH tonight.
I don't think Jorge minds this, but
no.
You know, if this was Jordan Lyles, he'd probably be a little grumpy.
But you become so accustomed to the league that you're in on how the lineup goes. You go, well, the pitcher comes up, at least you flip the lineup over for the next inning. But now you've got somebody hitting in the 9th spot like DJ.
In there for a strike. It's 1-2 on LeMahieu. Rockies 8-9 out on the road. Very respectable. It's so easy to play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. Had they not coughed up that 4-0 lead in Arizona, last game they played on the road, they'd be obviously a game above 500.
If you can hover around that 500 mark.
Well, overall, they've won 5 of their last 7 on the road. That's up the middle for a base hit.
So all 4 base hits that Colby Lewis has given up tonight have been on breaking pitches.
More accurately described, hanging breaking pitches.
Hanging.
Mike Maddox looking on. Rangers had to make a move for an extra arm after getting beaten up the last couple of days. They brought up an extra arm in Scott Baker, the former Twin.
They said, well, we can't have Mitch Moreland pitching anymore. We need another pitcher.
You want to know what? He had the best stuff anybody threw last night. That's a base hit the other way for Blackman for Texas. Mitch Moreland came in, the first baseman, and was humming it up there at 94, 95, former closer at Mississippi State.
This wasn't 94, 95. This was the high 80s. Last night, Charlie had 2 ground ball outs to shortstop because they started pitching him that sinker away. This time he lets the ball travel deeper and with 1 hop hits it past Elvis Andrus.
Some extraordinary numbers put up last night by the Rockies, even by their standards. 21 hits is not only a Rockies high, it's more than any team has produced in a game this year. 1 through 4, the top 4 in the order, 13 for 20. A 650 average, couple home runs. They drove in 7. Runners in scoring position, 10 for 22. Juan Nicasio, who walked 5, that's why he only went 5 innings, improved to 4-1. Also, the Rockies over the last 2 days have produced 18 extra base hits, 4 home runs, and 14 doubles. Here's Dickerson with 2 outs. The most extra base hits the Rockies have ever had in consecutive games, 21 back in 2000, June 17th and 18th. And then the next highest mark was tied over the last 48 hours. 18, did it in 08, did it in 01.
They're carrying it forward tonight. 5 hits, 2 of them already extra base hits.
Dickerson hitting .359 against right-handed pitching coming in. He had a 3-hit game in that series against the Mets, tying his career best. 0-2's high, 1-2.
Well, he's been hurt by the hanging curveball. The first inning and 2/3. Does he have the confidence to throw it, or does he bounce it?
Yeah, he got a strikeout at Dickerson, so the Rockies will leave 2 on in the second. They have a 2-0 lead in Arlington. Prince Fielder to face Jorge De La Rosa. De La Rosa threw less than 10 pitches in that first inning. Had a 1-2-3 first. All fly balls, 2 to right, 1 to center. Rockies have 3 on the right side in the infield against Prince.
And Troy's deciding, they're trying to decide where they want him. Okay, now back onto the shortstop side.
And the fastball just missed.
Good pitch.
Really good pitch. Right at the knees on the outside corner.
They're just saying, well, if you can hit that pitch, you'll just hit it to the left side. And that's why with the left on left matchup, Troy's not on that second base side on the shift.
2-1. Fielder hitting .244 left on left this year. Three and one, changeup. And in his new home, he's hitting right at 200.
I'm talking to some people with the Rangers. They said early he was just pressing, trying to hit every ball out of the ballpark, not just over the wall, but completely out of the stadium.
This ball is to deep right, but I'm telling you, I don't know if you can stand at second base right now and hit it out to right.
Pretty difficult just with that wind. I mean, it's blowing as hard in as it has all day. Quite this hard during batting practice. They tried to put up some netting, some windscreen behind the Coke sign in center field and everything. All those signs back there. You can see the netting in between there. That's a windscreen that they tried to use, so when that wind came out and went back, it knocked some of it down, so it wasn't quite a home run ballpark. And right in between the sign and the seats, that's the windscreen netting that they put up to try to alleviate some of those cheap home runs.
Yeah, this has always been a great hitter's park. Where does it fly out best to?
Right center field, just like Coors Field.
1-1 on Alex Rios, former Blue Jay. Third in the American League with 40 hits. That cutter in, something he's doing quite a bit of with right-handed hitters. He's throwing it almost 13% of the time.
Well, and that just helps that fastball that's increased to 92.7 miles an hour. Makes it look even that much faster.
Beautiful split changeup.
And the arsenal for De La Rosa, we alluded to his fastball, but the cutter, that helps with that changeup, because that cut fastball, even though the pitch previous was a ball, it still is in the mind of the hitter. So you go to the changeup, and that's when you're swinging out in front.
Here's the 2-2. Outside 3-2. De La Rosa lost his first three starts of the year. 0-3 with a 7.58 ERA. His last three have been outstanding. And he got him swinging. First strikeout of the ball game for Jorge.
It's all about location. No matter what you're throwing, and the location on this split finger was dynamite.
So the last three outings, he's won all three at 2.5 ERA. The league's hitting just .214 against him with runners in scoring position. He's gotten big support, but you know, he's done his part. You really go back 4 starts, and he's pitched very well.
And I look at the risks against him, where when you're lowering it over, 100 points, 115 points. Yeah, the run support helps. It helps you relax, but even when there's traffic out there, he's finding these pitches to get outs.
And he gets a pop-up right side. LeMahieu, long way to run. Morneau,
oh,
what a catch by Morneau. That was not easy. That wouldn't have been easy if there was no wind. But you throw in the significant breeze. That was a tough play, going straight back. What a catch. Rockies up 2-0. We're off to the third.
Two to nothing as we head to the top of the third. Troy Tulowitzki due up. Nolan Arenado also due up this inning. Of course, he continued his hit streak now at 27. That ties Michael Kadire. And of course, Kadire on the disabled list, but he knows it's not an easy accomplishment.
That's what's crazy about hit streaks is that it's you're the talk of the town, and in a minute you go 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, boom, it's on to the next story. So hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. Hopefully he carries it on for a long, long time.
Kadire told me he hopes he goes for 56 games. That, of course, would tie Joe DiMaggio. Not an easy task to do. Michael Kadire also said, you know, I hope he comes for mine, and then I hope he passes mine. But again, that pressure, you guys, Nolan got it out of the way early today. Yesterday, he had to wait till that last at-bat to get it done. But talk about a kid, really a kid, just in his second year playing. He seems pretty cool, calm, and collected during the streak.
He's different, isn't he? He just is... As they called Troy Tulowitzki when he was at Long Beach State, they're known as the Dirtbags, and that's what Nolan Arenado is. And I mean that's the highest of praise. That's the baseball equivalent of being a gym rat.
Yeah, and that's what you want. But you also, how about the respect for Michael Kadire saying this kid, he can beat it. It's okay. I don't have a problem with somebody beating my record.
And that's the genuine response by Kadire.
It's not just a soundbite.
Right. It's not a soundbite for television because this is what I'm supposed to say, even though I want to keep. Michael's thrilled for him. He just can't wait to get back out there. Troy Tulowitzki, a line shot base hit with 2 outs to left. Cargo would double down the right field line with a line drive, and then Arenado's double brought them both home. And this ball's toward the hole, cut off nicely by Beltre, and they're going to get Tulowitzki, and they're going to have a celebration.
The screamers are going to start falling down. There's going to be some balloons.
So Kobe Lewis will face Cargo, who has got to check something here. He's got 6 straight hits, 5 last night, and 1 today. He's going back to the final game against the Mets. He got robbed of a hit in his last at bat against New York on Sunday.
Yeah, and he also has 8 extra base hits in the last 9 games when he had 1 in the previous 14 games.
Ball and a strike on Carlos. They've got 3 on the right side against him, and he had to reach for that. It's a high fly ball to left. Michael Choice will make the catch. Well, first inning, Nolan Arenado, 2 outs, runners at second and third. Pulled the hands in, and a line drive down the left field line. 2-run double for Nolan, and he's got a 27-game hitting streak, tying Michael Kadire for the longest in Rockies history. And for Nolan, that was his 11th double of the year, to go along with the 6 home runs. The hitting streak's now 10 games longer than anybody else has produced in baseball this year. And this is going to drop. Another base hit.
That one he fought off.
But he really, as well as any young hitter, pulls his hands in tight to his body. He really has an inside-out approach.
Yeah, and that's, some people are worried, well, he's not hitting for a lot of power right now. He's still just 23, but learn to go the other way, pulling the hands in. Right elbow. Look how close it is to his body. I mean, that's as close to your body without it getting locked up and jamming into your side as you can get. That's pulling the hands in, staying inside of the baseball.
Morneau fouled out to the catcher. His first time up. 2 outs, Arenado at first. Yeah, Justin, all the years in the American League, plenty of experience playing here in Arlington. During the 27-game hitting streak for Nolan, 11 of the 27 games he's done like today, produced a multi-hit game. Mentioned earlier, the Rockies did hit out on the field today. It was optional, though virtually everybody hit. And the Rangers opted not to.
They got in
real late night.
They got in 10 minutes earlier than the Rockies.
Nolan takes off, and this is looped into left field, and Arenado's going to end up at third base. And look at Morneau's hung up, and Arenado's coming down. Let's see if they can get the run. Now, fielder did the right thing.
Yeah.
On the tag, fielder gets him. Well, the Rockies end up running themselves out of that inning, but they tested the Rangers' ability to handle 2 pickles. 2-0 Colorado. the third innings, a strike on Elvis Andrus. De La Rosa has set down the first 6 he has faced, including a strikeout of Alex Rios on a 3-2 pitch. 2-run double in the first for Nolan Arenado, and the Rockies lead it in the bottom of the third by that score.
Wonderful
Nicely done by De La Rosa.
Because he was the only one that was going to get Andrus. And then when he came in, he knew he had to barehand it, but he didn't rush it. And when you go to get a ball down in the ground, you do it just like De La Rosa did.
Nolan goes over to visit to give De La Rosa a moment to catch his breath.
Real quick on this play, watch how he buries that ball into the ground. Think about pushing the ball down into the ground. That helps you get the grip on the baseball.
And Martin thought about bunting there, pulled it back. 1-0. He's been much better at home than on the road. Out on the road, he's hitting well below 200. At home, he's hitting almost 400, which is third best in the American League at 392 officially. That's a strike. 1-1. Last time Jorge pitched here, he was with the Kansas City Royals.
2006.
How about that? Gives you an idea how long he's been around.
Still had the strikeouts then. 7 punch-outs, 6 innings.
One, 2. And that fastball just missed upstairs. 2-2. Eddie Butler went last night for Tulsa. Went 7 innings, lost the game 2-1. He gave up 2 solo home runs. 5 hits, walked 3, struck out 1. Curveball, see you later. 2 outs. And Robinson Chirinos will be coming up. Subaru brings you the manager's challenge. If there's a questionable call, instant replay will be used to determine the outcome. It's brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. There's Robbie Chirinos as Walt Weiss looks on.
Joe Little handling any replays tonight if it does happen.
On the outside corner at 93, strike 1. Pleasant night in Arlington. And a 1-1 pitch. Just misses inside. 2-1. How's the infield play here, Jeff?
Fast. Real fast. Because of the humidity, they don't let the grass grow real long, so the ball scoots. And then the dirt has a tendency to dry out. Watered it extra heavy today. That's why you'll see that right out in front of home plate. It looks like a sand pit. Trying to keep the moisture in the dirt.
Here's the 3-1. On the inside corner. Don't go anywhere, says Lance Barksdale. It's 3-2.
He was correct on the 4th strike zone.
Got him with a changeup. Well done Jorge De La Rosa can't pitch any better than he did the first time through the lineup. Back-to-back punch-outs close out the third inning. We'll go to the fourth. The Rockies 2 and the Rangers nothing. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Focus. Big MPGs and fun to drive. Ford, go further. By Inova Cancer Care. Advanced prostate cancer treatment. Visit InovaCC.com. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com. And by Mitsubishi Motors, who invites you to find your own lane. Picture statue of Jeff Houston outside the ballpark here in Arlington. The Rockies up 2-0.
It's the Ryan
that's
Express.
the Ryan one. Okay. Inside on Drew Stubbs.
It is different coming here and not seeing him at the ballpark.
No longer working for the Rangers. Working with his son in Houston with the Astros. Stubbs, space hit. Right center field. Stay hot, Drew Stubbs.
Playing in front of a lot of friends and family.
Ton of friends and family. His parents are here. His grandparents are here. He grew up and was raised a couple hours or so east of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Atlanta, Texas.
So he used to come over here for baseball games as a youth. And so they would play their tournaments and then he would catch ball games.
This guy, I need not tell you, as he chats up Prince Fielder, he's a freaky athlete. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Michael McHenry at the plate. When he was in high school, star baseball player, played everything. He ran track also, and he was one of the elite track athletes in the state of Texas. He was a sprinter, ran the hurdles, ran all the relays.
As a hobby. Wasn't training for that because it was baseball season.
Well, there were a lot of schools interested in him, high-level Division I schools, that realized he wasn't going to go and run track in college. He was going to go play baseball. And like so many down here in the Lone Star State, he was a huge follower of UT. LSU recruited him a little bit. He said, but everybody knew I wanted to go to UT, and that's where he went. His brother went there and played baseball for a year before transferring and continuing his collegiate career at La Tech.
Wear that burnt orange. Your Longhorn.
I said, what was your best 100 time? He said, well, I was always doing relays and hurdles. He said, but around a 10-4.
Give or take. 10-4.
And McHenry was able to call time and was granted time by Lance Barksdale.
But
no pitch.
But he did the right thing by staying in the box and don't back out. Make sure time is granted.
It's one of the things you teach youngsters when they're learning the game of baseball. If the pitcher's taking too long, you don't have to stand in there, but you can't just back out. You have to be granted time. Rockies up 2-0. Stubbs with a decent lead takes off. Throw to second, not going to get him. Skips it to center field. Stubbs is headed to third. He's got to get down. And he actually didn't have to get down as that throw is offline. So Drew Stubbs, stolen base. Error on Chirinos. And the Rockies have Stubbs at third and nobody out.
Back-to-back games for Drew Stubbs with the stolen base. He went into last night's ball game with 0. Now he has 2.
Well, again, this is a guy that stole 40 bases. Jeff, you stole bases in the big leagues. There's a demarcation, man. You get 30, and he's done that a couple times. You get 40.
Yeah, I mean, that goes from being, one of those guys that, occasional base stealer, to 40. Everybody knows you're stealing, and you can still steal them. That's the separating mark.
Now the infield comes in. See if Michael McHenry can bring home Stubbs. Got a 2-0 count to work with. DJ LeMahieu on deck.
It's 29 errors on the Rangers.
They are
second to the last in the American League.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. They're one of the 2 worst teams defensively, which does not please Ron Washington. The only positive is they turned a lot of double plays, second most to the Rockies. That's in the dirt, 3-1. And a .977 fielding percentage. In the big leagues, that's 27th. And the Rockies are near the top defensively. Two runs, 8 hits already for Colorado. None for Texas. McHenry with a base hit and an RBI. First RBI for Michael McHenry in his second tour with the Rockies.
That ball was smoked past Adrian Beltre.
Good for Michael. And it's 3-0 Colorado.
Just a sinking fastball. Beltre's not playing as close as Elvis Andrus was. Andrus was on the grass. Beltre was 2 steps back. So that would provide even further range for him, but it was hit too hard. By the time he dives, it's into the outfield.
And now LeMahieu at the plate. Great hit and run guy, and look what we got, a hit and run.
Boy, and you have a guy with Michael that has some speed. He's not just a plugger out at first base, in the catcher's body.
Michael's hit there, it just embodies what the Rockies have done all year. Guys get injured or guy needs a day off. Pacheco's basically filling in for Willeen. McHenry gets the start tonight after Pacheco threw out a couple hits last night. He gets an RBI single.
But also, after all the offensive numbers you put up in Colorado, to come out tonight and here in the 4th inning already have 9 hits, 3 runs. I mean, that's just a big statement.
Absolutely, because as frustrating as it is to read, so much has been written in these parts about the magic of Coors Field for the Rockies. That's a base hit. That's 10 hits. As if you didn't have to take a barrel to the baseball and
still have to hit it.
The pixie dust allows the Rockies to outproduce everybody else at Coors Field. Here we are in Arlington. Mike Maddox in the 4th inning, already making his 2nd trip to visit the veteran Colby Lewis. The Rockies have 3 runs on 10 hits, and that's a happy man. Rockies hitting instructor Blake Doyle. Our Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Last night, Brandon Barnes had 2 hits in the 6th inning, and he entered as a pinch hitter. It's the 3rd time in club history that's happened. E.Y. Jr., little E.Y. did it a couple of years ago against the Giants. Melvin Mora did it against the Cubs in 2010. Now, we should clarify the second plate appearances in an inning is not a pinch hit appearance. It's batting as an undeclared position. It's like a man without a country. How good's Barnesy been, huh?
Bargy doesn't care if it was 2 pinch hits, whatever. I got 2 knocks.
Whatever position you want to put me at, it'll work. 2 on, nobody out. Blackmon has a hit tonight, 1 for 2. Put a charging one in the first inning to right field. They just died in the wind.
But this is a good time to lay down a bunt. Nobody out. Get 2 more guys or another guy in scoring position. Move the runners up to second and third. Drop it down third base.
Swing in, and it's going to get through, or just get a base hit.
Get a base hit.
McHenry's going to come on home. Alex Rios' throw is cut off, and going to third is DJ LeMahieu. 4-0 Colorado. 4 straight singles here at the top of the 4th inning.
Well, you go ahead and swing away when you're as hot as Charlie Blackmon. Going on a 1-0 count. Infield is in at the corners. Yeah, that's a tough pitch to pull for a base hit. Yeah, he's looking for the location, down and away. French fielder dives. This whole time, this run is because Michael McHenry was running hard as he was rounding third base.
How about Chuck Nasty? He's got 25 ribbies out of the 1 hole. He's got Ricky Henderson on Major League Baseball so far this year. 7 home runs. And he's in a running situation here. First and third, Dickerson at the plate. Left-handed hitter, always a little bit more of a nuisance for a catcher getting ready to throw.
Well, yeah, your blind spot. You can't see how far off he is, what kind of lead that he has procured. It's really hard for the catcher. He has to rely more on the bench calling it out that he's going.
There he goes. They pitch out. The throw's high. He steals the bag anyhow. 8th stolen base for Blackmon.
These guys are just imposing their will right now. And whatever they want to do, they're pulling it off. Even with the pitch out. Now, DJ LeMahieu, as being a smart base runner at third base, knowing that the pressure is on a middle infielder, he takes 2 hard steps at third to just put it in the mind of Elvis Andrus that, hey, I might take off, so even if you catch that, you have to worry about me.
Dickerson fouls that back. Look at the line score. We're in the 4th inning. There's nobody out. 4-11. Zip, and an error. It's the only marker that Texas has. Way inside on Dickerson. He had to jump out of the way twice last night when Mitch Moreland was on the hill.
Who was throwing harder?
Oh, Mitch Moreland, I'm not kidding you. I thought he had the best stuff anybody who towed the rubber for the Rangers last night. He had the only 1-2-3 inning.
He did. I mean, 93, 94. Micah Owen type. I mean, not Micah would throw that hard, but a guy that could pitch and hit.
This is in the air to center field. Tagging's LeMahieu. And here's the throw, and it's over everything. Hit the screen. And Blackmon will move up, which is really key, because now with 1 out, Blackmon's at third base. It's 5-0 Colorado. Dickerson with his 6th RBI on that sac fly. Running the bases well, aggressively, with purpose, with intelligence, all the little things coupled with the fact that they have 11 hits.
It started with a base hit, stolen base. He goes to third, but then Michael does his thing. He scores from second base. On the throw, you have guys moving up. They have to play the infield in now. Just everything is running like a well-oiled machine.
Well, Ranger fans thought last night was bad. Here's Tulowitzki. Troy takes a strike. I have a number here that Doug just handed me that I had to look at 3 times. in 21 1/3 innings against the Rangers. That's what this series has been so far. 45 hits for the Rockies. Think about that. That's more than 2 an inning.
They're only 10 away from matching what they had last night. 21 hits last night, and they have 11 tonight.
They'll get an extra at bat down here. One. That's a strike. 1-2. Blackman at third with 1 out. Good on. Tried to shave the corner. It was down low.
Well, and after the first 3 that are in, when a pitcher goes that far away from you, it seems further than 17 inches the width of the plate. It seems 2 feet out there.
Two. Now 3-2. Cargo's on deck.
Just recently recalled Scott Baker.
He got the call in about the 5th inning last night.
Well, 73 pitches for Colby Lewis. His last start, in all his starts, he's thrown between 85 and 91 pitches, and that's on a good day.
Baker was over in Japan not too long ago.
Keep wearing that uniform.
3-2 on Tulo. Tulo a single and a run scored in the first. Belcher made a nice play to keep from having a second hit. This is popped up, and I don't know what the wind's going to do with it. Prince may have a play, and then again,
he didn't know.
Not.
Yeah, he didn't know what the wind was going to do with it. Join Root Sports and the Rockies for a great cause. Batter Up for Kids all season long. Every Rockies hit will mean a monetary donation to Children's Hospital Colorado and Special Olympics Colorado. Go to Rockies.com/batterup to donate today. He's showing him a steady diet of fastballs.
3-2 once again. And Troy hits it in the air to deep center field. Plenty deep enough to get the run home. And here comes Charlie Blackman with the Rockies' 6th run. Sac fly for Tulowitzki, his 31st RBI. So he had 4 hits to start the inning and then 2 productive outs.
2 sac flies to center field, put the ball in play. You have good speed out there. The first one was DJ, the second one was Charlie. You were helped by the high throw on the first one to allow Charlie to move up to third.
Cargo a double and a fly ball to left field. Got the average to 282 now after slumping down into the 230s. But as we've said many times, there are guys that you really don't worry about, and he's one of them.
You know, most managers, they'll look and see how is that player acting? Is it bad body language? Is everything okay with them? Is he still smiling? Cargo never had any of the look of a panicker. A guy that was saying, uh-oh, I'm in trouble here. Give me a day off. I need 2 or 3. to get right.
Yeah, the beauty of his personality. He's always upbeat. Two and 0. I think Ron Washington, honestly, is just hoping he can get Lewis through this inning.
Yeah, so he give his Baker a chance to start with a clean inning.
Cargo drives it to right center field. It's well hit, but with the wind, it's still going to get on out of here. Wow. That's remarkable.
Because how many?
Make it 7-0. I didn't think it was possible to hit a ball out to right.
I was just going to say, how many balls have been knocked down by the wind already tonight? And you know he has the power. He clipped it.
His 7th home run of the year.
Just didn't know with the wind. There's nothing wrong with the swing. The swing's good. He knew it. Just watch the hop.
I mean, he knew he got it.
Yeah. Now you just see him glancing down like a golfer, trying to find that ball on the green. Is it going to go? Looking at the right fielder.
And it's way out. Went over the bullpen, which will be utilized right now by Ron Washington. You thought last night was impressive. 7-0 Rockies on 12 hits.
Colorado up 7-0. A pitching change right now happening. Compliments of a most recent Carlos Gonzalez home run. He's 9 for 13 now this series. He's raised his batting average 47 points since April 28th, and it really had to do with a timing issue at the plate.
You know, I was pulling too many balls, and obviously the other teams are looking at it and they're playing me the shift, which I hate. But I think when the swing get back on track, and I think I'm feeling good right now. And I use the entire field. Things are gonna happen. You're gonna see third baseman like Adrian Beltre throwing the glove on the ground.
Kago told me, too, it's never a great time to slump in your career, but for him and the way this offense has been rolling, he doesn't feel that pressure that he has in the past, that this is Cargo and Tulo's team, and when they hit, the offense hits. Everyone in this lineup is hitting, and Cargo said it's really given him that sense of relief that he can feel like he can find his own swing on his own time.
Yeah, and you know what? So he goes through a rough period, Jenny. It's a wonderful point that you make and that he makes. He goes through a rough period, but the team's winning every night, and now he's rolling again. And when he rolls and Tulo rolls and Arenado's at the plate rolls, you get really lopsided scores.
Yeah, you get 7 runs and 12 hits in the 4th inning kind of scores. 21 hits last night, 12 runs. Nobody likes to slump. That's an obvious.
This ball, if it stays fair, is going to be off the wall. It is. That was just about 5 feet short of being a home run. second double of the night for Nolan Arenado. He's also got a single. He's 3 for 3 as he's hit in 27 straight games. Scott Baker looking at the dugout saying, okay, I see what was going on.
Yeah, I was warming up in the bullpen. That was 380 feet away. Now I'm 60 feet 6 inches away, and it does not look good. And that ball was 2 feet from going out. But real quick, let me just finish my thought. Obviously, nobody likes to be in a slump. But it does help when you have the pedigree of Carlos, when you know the numbers that he's put up, over 440 RBIs in his career, over 100 home runs, you get all that. But when the club's winning, it helps you know that, hey, it will come.
Justin Morneau, a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He's the 9th man to hit here in the 4th inning. And here's a by the way. That's Nolan's first 3-hit game during his 27-game hitting streak. He's had 10 2-hit games. Well, with this offense, you get well fed, Huey. Who wants tacos? Fans of the Rockies have scored 7 runs again. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Little Pony, Charlie Culberson.
Well, he's talking about the wind right now. He was just telling Charlie that felt like the wind was blowing in. It was. You don't know what's going to happen.
You see that finger's still a little swollen, Huey?
Yes.
Still taped up.
Well, even though it's might still be swollen and taped up, you'll do it and ride that swing because of where he is at with his mechanics.
And Baker able to strike out Morneau. Arenado left at second. 9 came to the plate in the inning. 5 was scored. Pick your highlight. We'll leave you with this one for a moment. Carlos Gonzalez with his 7th big fly of the year. 7-0. Here's tonight's First Bank game recap. Put the 7th inning stretch to good use. Sign up for First Bank's free checking at efirstbank.com. The Rockies have all the good numbers. 7, 13, and zip. Texas, all the bad numbers. Zip, zip, and 2. Nolan Arenado's 3 for 3. He ties Michael Kadire, longest hit streak in club history. Cargo's got a couple hits, a double and a bomb. And Jorge has been immaculate thus far. With Jeff Hewson and Jenny Cavnar, I'm Drew Goodman. Top of the order in the 4th, Shin Soo Choo. And he takes strike 1. Choo had a great road trip. He hit the ball well in Colorado also. He's got an American League best 366 average. Chu went 11 for 16 with 6 walks in. He was hit by a pitch in the last 5 ball games for the Texas Rangers. He's got an on-base percentage coming in at 500. Tulowitzki-esque.
A 25-point lead on Matt Wieters of Baltimore for the batting lead. Well, lost in all the offensive onslaught tonight is the pitching of Jorge De La Rosa.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball at 92 down low.
There's 38 pitches for Jorge right now. What was that came off? A thumb guard? Yeah, it was. We saw this red material fly out in the air after he makes this swing. Top hand. Yep, there it goes. See ya.
See you later. Barksdale waited for a second, but that was there.
But give Michael McHenry credit on this strikeout because of how long he holds it and the way he frames it. Now count. Right there on the corner on the 4th strike zone, 1001. Yep, it is a strike. Not much argument from Chu.
Michael Joyce, who came from the Rangers organization. He was the 10th pick in the draft a few years ago. There's the 1-0 to Joyce. And that's a base hit. First of the night for Texas. Their first base runner after Jorge retired the first 10. Did I say the Rangers? I meant he was with the Rangers organization, but he was in the Oakland organization.
Same division.
Yep.
A couple times tonight, the Rangers hitters have had to back out on Jorge. He's pitching with a little more pace tonight.
Not normally known for that.
No.
Inside corner on Beltre.
But they've had to back out because he's ready to go, ready to make the pitch.
Rockies have outscored Texas in this series 27-3.
And right now, out hit them 47-18.
3-1 on Beltre. And that's fouled off. 3-2. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Rockies will play the Rangers again tomorrow night and then head to Cincinnati. That'll be a late night also. 3-2 on Beltre. See if Choice moves. He does not, and it's on the ground, foul.
That was a hard slider on the hands of Beltre. The Rangers have hit into 38 double plays. 38. It's a major league high. Good time for one here to make it 39.
Beltre battling away. Saw a tweet from our friend, the outstanding national baseball writer for USA Today, Bob Nightingale. Said this is getting ridiculous. The Rockies are up 7-0 over the Rangers, and they have 7 players in the lineup hitting .317 or better, led by Tulo's .422. Center field, pretty well hit. And it's gone. 2-run home run for Adrian Beltre. He's been the whole offense the last 2 days for Texas. Hit a solo home run in the first inning yesterday, and then the Rangers were blank the rest of the way. And tonight, he hits a 2-run home run in the 4th inning.
Just like Carlos's ball, you weren't quite sure if Adrian got enough in this one to hit it out. He's just so strong. Not much of a stride. Just 407 feet. Kept it fairly low for a home run, so the wind didn't affect it.
Strike one on Prince Fielder. Prince hit a high pop up to right field his first time up. Fielder 3 for 12 lifetime against De La Rosa. Make it 3 for 13. Fair ball. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Alex Rios.
You want to get to the ballpark early on Sunday, May 18th, as the first 15,000 fans will receive a supercargo bobblehead gnome. It's courtesy of us here at Root Sports. Arrive early. Gates will open 2 hours prior to game. How about that? The supercargo bobblehead gnome, May 18th against the San Diego Padres.
At the knees, a strike. De La Rosa working down in the zone very well.
Well, he came right back after the home run to get Beltre. Now the first 2 pitches to the next batters gets them out.
First chance for Arenado to get involved defensively. In the inning, a 2-run home run by Adrian Beltre has Texas on the board. Rockies leading 7-2 as we go to the 5th. Stubbs will lead it off.
made through the order in the fourth. They're up 7-2. Drew Stubbs, he's from Texas. So are several other Rockies. Let's show you where they're all from. Brett Anderson from Midland, Texas, of course, from the disabled list. Matt Belisle lives in Austin. Boone Logan grew up in San Antonio. Then on to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Chris Martin, Charlie Blackmon, LaTroy Hawkins. He makes his offseason home outside of Dallas. And there's Drew Stubbs out in Atlanta, Texas. So it's pretty fun for these guys to have a lot of friends and family come to the game, and even for some, sleep in their own beds, like Chris Martin and LaTroy Hawkins. Charlie Blackmon told me he was born here in Dallas. He spent a whole 365 days of his life here before they moved over to the Atlanta area. But he said they still do have some family here, so it's always nice to see them when they come through.
You know, Jenny, with Charlie, he was playing for a former Ranger, Rusty Greer, in a summer league that he made the conversion back to being a full-time position player.
Well, and also Chris Martin played for a former Ranger and Pete Cavilla.
Inky with the Grand Prairie independent team. Boy, oh boy, is Drew Stubbs ever hot. This is going to be a double if he can get there, and he will. So Drew Stubbs tonight has 2 more hits. That's 8 in his last 2.5 ball games, and his 5th extra base hit.
And another ball that was scalded.
Yeah, there's no cheapies.
No, I mean, this ball was just tattooed over the head. And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast how quick this grass is. It's pretty short. So when it gets that top spin on it and the outfielders have to move laterally, you know that you can take that extra base.
Michael McHenry, an RBI single his last time up. Nobody out, runner at second. Michael takes inside ball 1. 21 hits last night, 14 more, and there's nobody out here in the top of the 5th for the Rockies.
Colorado 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
10 for 22 last night. Baker trying to work the inner half to keep McHenry
and Michael
pushing the ball to the right side.
Yeah, Michael knows it, what he's trying to do. So it becomes a game of, are you going to make a mistake, or am I going to have to really just let the ball travel deep so I can just fight it off to the right side?
He got it to the right side in the air. This is pretty deep, and it is caught in the corner. Stubbs will tag. That was a smidgen from going out of the ballpark right down the line.
Because that wall juts back from 349 to the foul pole, so it cuts off roughly 12 or 14 feet in depth. 14 feet from 349 to 325. And this is the advantage of knowing your home ballpark. Alex Rios knew where the wall was, knew how much ground he could give. But with nobody out, base runner at second base, you tag up, and that's what Drew did.
Infield in, LeMahieu at the plate. He's 2 for 2. This will get the job done. Line to deep right, and it's off the wall. Rios knocks it down. LeMahieu to second. He's going to hunt a triple here. DJ into third. Safe. Run-scoring triple for DJ LeMahieu. He's perfect tonight, 3 for 3. And the Rockies get one of the runs back. It's 8-2.
Think about how hard that ball was hit to get out to the wall in right field. We're thinking, worst case, it's a sac fly. Slider that's up by the letters. Well, it does more than the sac fly. DJ just turns on the jets. Slides out and around. Adrian Beltre tried to deke him just by standing there and acting like, oh, there's not going to be a play. First triple of the season for DJ.
Blackmon pops it up, and Beltre is going to be able to make the catch. So there are 2 outs. Charlie with 25 RBIs lost an opportunity for a 26th there. 25 RBIs, more than any leadoff hitter in baseball. Time for you to tweet us your Rockies fan photos using the hashtag #COFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Corey Dickerson, an RBI on a sac fly to center, his last at bat.
And even if you don't get this second run in this inning, after the Rangers scored 2 last half, you come back and you add another one on. Sure, they're thinking, wow, we worked hard for those 2 runs. They come back out and get another one at minimum. Back down 6 again.
High on the fastball, and it's 1-1.
Scott Baker 4-1 with a 3.32 ERA. It's 6 starts down in Round Rock.
And Dickerson on that pitch fouls it back, 1-2. Exciting time for so many young players getting to play in a new ballpark. Corey worked out before he was drafted when he was at Meridian Junior College for the Toronto Blue Jays down in this neck of the woods.
Draft right around the corner.
A little more than a month away.
Yeah.
How much fun is it for Walt Weiss to now have the DH so he can just pick all these different guys? Say, I'm going to insert you here and you there. And nobody seems to care where they hit in the lineup. Last few days, Cargo's batted 4th, Tulo's batted 3rd. Seen a bunch of different 2-hole hitters with Michael Kadire still on the DL.
Stubbs hitting 7th tonight.
That's a base hit to left, and the Rockies will cash in that triple from LeMahieu. Corey Dickerson has a couple RBIs tonight, and the Rockies lead it 9-2.
What a thing of beauty going the other way. And Corey Dickerson. So just a little slider. I'll just take it away. If I pull it, it's a ground ball out, 4-3. I'll just keep the body back. And that's hitting behind the baseball. I mean, his head didn't move. And he quickly get the 2 runs back.
And here's Tulowitzki again. Single, ground out, sac fly. Called strike. Troy with runners on base this year. Came in hitting .561. That will go up. Stop and consider that for a moment. Runners on base.
It's hard to even fathom.
I mean, this isn't a nice week. This is game 36.
Well, and that's why you win Player of the Month honors.
And we never mentioned, he was Player of the Week the final week of April also. We just kind of blew that off because he won the whole month.
Going through my book here now with that base hit by Corey, everybody has a base hit tonight.
It's nice to share.
Last night I had to wait till the last at bat for everybody to join the parade, and that was Nolan.
What was he thinking?
This little hitting streak.
Two balls, two strikes on Troy Tulowitzki. And Baker's going to get him. That ends the inning, but the Rockies get 2 more runs. It started with a Drew Stubbs double. DJ LeMahieu had a triple in there. Dickerson a ribby. 9-2 Colorado. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Dodge, visit Dodge.com or your local Dodge dealer today. Pretty night deep in the heart of Texas. Song just on my mind.
You like that song,
I love
don't
that.
you?
Part of tradition when you come here to Lone Star State. Rockies up 9-2. Donnie Murphy's at the plate. The first pitch to Donnie is low ball 1. It's our Toyota Talk inning. See what kind of questions we have in line this evening. On the outside corner, 1-1. What was Arenado's average before the hit streak started? Sherry. Good question. On April 8th, that's when the streak began, he was hitting 200, 7 for 35. He had a couple home runs and 6 driven in. And now, at the beginning of play today, his average was at 314, and he's 3 for 3. So Dougie, what's he hitting?
He's hitting 329.
329. Oh, you cheated. You looked
I
at
did.
the...
Thing called the internet.
What's that thing called, Mildred? You got what?
It's called the internet.
The internet? Did you invent that?
Nope.
What are your opinions about the DH and why? The Koivu family. You guys would really play hockey, by the way.
I'll let you go first.
Do you know what? I like coming to American League parks and having the DH, but I still am an old traditionalist. I like the strategy in the National League where you have to think ahead and how you're going to use your bullpen. The pitcher's going to come up. And I was raised as a National League fan.
Me too. And that's why I would say I'm not a big fan of the DH. And I know the arguments that you don't want to see the pitchers hit. You like to see the sluggers. And if you take the DH away, those guys won't be able to play. They'll still be filled by a player. And how many true DHs are left? after Big Papi, take him out of the equation, then it becomes more of a rest day for guys. So, Koivu family, I'm a National League guy.
Ground ball to Tulowitzki. Troy's got it. And Donnie Murphy's the first out of the 5th inning. Elvis Andrus is coming up to shortstop for Texas. Jeff, what was your best moment in the big leagues?
Oh, Eric. Boy, that's going to take me a second, but I think this is one of the best ones I could think of. Off the bat of Cal Ripken, a little behind the back flip to Dickie Thon.
Cal hasn't talked to you since, and you guys were teammates.
I know. Yeah, he was still not happy about that. Yeah, a little curtain call.
Pretty good when you get a curtain call for defensive play.
So, Eric, well, thanks for bringing that up, and thanks for the truck for having that video. They got it off the old 16 millimeter, the old.
Very grainy, very grainy. I was shocked, quite frankly, that it was actually in color. This ball's launched, but it's going to turn foul.
They digitized it.
They
could do that now. They digitized it. It was just in black and white.
Can you show those old home movies at home? Look at this. Athlete.
That's from playing basketball. I didn't realize I had thrown it behind my back.
Yeah, whoa. Because I got a scouting report on your hoop game, and you could hoop, but you never passed.
Why should you?
You surveyed the court, and you said, I look like the best option. Kind of like that. I can relate to that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I played basketball with you.
Let it fly. Andrus with the count of 1-2. I would think for you also, from a team standpoint, playing behind Nolan in a couple of no-hitters, I mean, that had to be. And you made a really good play in, what was it, no-hitter number 6?
6 against Ricky Anderson, a check swing.
Which would have been a hit, probably.
Yes, it would have.
You had to come get it, and on the move.
I threw him out by a step. That was fun.
Kind of play.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Of course, the night that Cal broke Lou Gehrig's record, I was starting third baseman that night. So that's.
What do you have? Do you have any memorabilia from that ball game?
Yeah, I have baseballs from that game because there's special stitches on it. They're orange and black.
Oh, okay.
With the number 8 on them.
Very cool. Andrus up the middle. Look at DJ making like a young Jeff Houston.
Boy, he made that play look easy.
But it's an HD color now.
Yes, it is. Up the middle, gets some hop from the mound. It slows it down, but Andrus can run. And we threw him out by a step.
2 outs, nobody on. 4 straight ground ball outs for Jorge De La Rosa. And that's going to be a base hit. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Leonis Martin and Leonis Martin. And from Latin America, I think we're going to start going with Martin. Base hit. And that'll bring up Robbie Chirinos. What is a more telling metric, ERA or WHIP? Sam in Los Alamos, New Mexico. What do you think?
I think WHIP. I mean, I like that stat. It hasn't been around as long as the ERA, of course, but
I'll tell you what, for a guy who works out of the bullpen, it's a no-brainer. I'd rather see, I want to know what their WHIP is.
Yes.
I want to know how many guys they've inherited that have scored, because ERA for a guy that's only working typically for 3 outs, get blown up one bad performance.
But that's where if you could combine them and look at both of them, I think that would give you a better picture of what you're dealing with.
Yeah, and for the fan that wrote in that question, here's the pitch to Chirinos and it's fouled off. Another thing I look at is opponent batting average against. That gives you an idea what kind of stuff somebody has.
Yeah, is it skewed one way or another for a right-handed or left-handed hitter, depending on what the pitcher is? Can he only get the opposite side out? I mean, for Jorge, you're talking about batting average against. He came into the game tonight a .257 batting average against for right-handers and for left-handers.
Will Russell Wilson play any games for Texas? No, Sean. That was, Russell Wilson was in the Rockies organization, and he went and he did a nice job. Great leader. His bat had a long way to go. There's a lot of people who think he may have got to the big leagues just because of the leadership and all of the intangibles that he brought. But once he went football full time, it's not like he's ready to play in the major leagues. This is not Deion Sanders.
No.
This is not Bo Jackson. His baseball skill set was still in the process of being developed.
And he went to the camp with the Rangers, but just for a couple days. Show up, talk to guys. Taking some batting practice, some ground balls, but you're never going to play.
That was a nice little marketing deal for Texas. But he's the full-time quarterback of the Super Bowl champions. And I don't think, even if he did have, say, Bo Jackson skills, I don't think a quarterback could do both.
No. Too much preparation.
Yeah, I mean, Deion could fly in on Sunday and cover anybody.
Yeah, you could just fly in on Sunday and call a play.
Right. That's not going to work.
Can you imagine Peyton doing that?
Well, Elway was a hell of a baseball player. Brady was drafted out of high school. Oh, look who steals one from Tulowitzki. Arenado fires across, and Robbie Chirinos is out. And that's all for the Rangers in the 5th inning. We'll turn the page to inning number 6. We got a flashback again. Never get tired of this play. That's baby Huey. 9-2 Rockies. Presented by Mike Shaw Subaru. We're in Arlington, Texas. The Rockies opening up a 7-game road trip. The series continuing with the Rangers, and more of the same from Texas's perspective, and that's all good for the Rockies. 9 runs, 16 hits. And a guy who's got 2 of them is stepping in right now against Scott Baker. It's Carlos Gonzalez. A double and a home run tonight in 3 at-bats. One out. And here comes Nolan Arenado. If you're a little late to the party tonight, Nolan, his first at bat, took any drama away. He got a pitch to drive, and he ripped it down the left field line. A 2-run double to extend his hitting streak to 27 games. It now matches Michael Kadire for the top streak ever produced by a Rocky. He also has followed that up with a single in the third and a double in the fourth. And thus his average at 329 is Michael, who's feeling a lot better, by the way.
I saw him out playing catch today with Keith Duggar. Legs feeling better. And he'll have to go out and get a few at-bats on a rehab.
Yeah, he acknowledged that. This has popped up right side. Prince is going to have a play. 2 outs. He acknowledged that, but Michael is one of those guys that probably won't need a ton of at-bats when he is ready to go out.
No, a veteran guy. Knows when his swing is ready, and more importantly, when's the timing ready.
Yeah.
The timing of his swing.
He's hanging out right now with Juan Nicasio. Justin Morneau is going to face his old teammate Scott Baker for a second time. Baker struck him out his first time. Goes soft away, ball 1. Morneau's hitting .328 out on the road. Got a 2-0 count to work with.
This is where you just turn and burn. Turn those hips open and try to burn them down the line with a home run.
Thank you for texting in your questions last half inning during Toyota Talk. For more answers, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRN. Good pass through the zone there. It's 2-2. Kobe Lewis was the starter for the Rangers tonight. His line not a pretty one. 3 2/3. He gave up 7 runs on 12 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. Baker's been on since.
Took him 79 pitches to get those 3 2/3. You mentioned it earlier, Drew, about the club having optional BP, but everybody coming out to hit. That's a little unusual to have that many guys say, well, we want to come out. But I also think it speaks volume of this club and where they're at as a team and what they're trying to accomplish. Because the first day in a new city, you want to get familiar with the surroundings.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, I don't think anybody didn't participate, and it would have, and as you know, as a player, it would have been all right if they didn't. They're pros. They had to get.
As we we head to the bottom of the 6th. Well, it's no secret now that the Colorado Rockies have a very powerful offense, but they also have a top-notch infield playing defense behind their pitchers. Take a look at the numbers of what the Fab Four is making up. We're talking Justin Morneau, DJ LeMahieu, Troy Tulowitzki, and Nolan Arenado. DJ LeMahieu only 6 points away from hitting 300 to join the rest of his infield mates. Of course, Troy Tulowitzki leading that pack, hitting .418, but it's their fielding percentages that go along with them. Nolan Arenado doesn't have the best fielding percentage out of the bunch. He has 6 errors on the season, but when you weigh that against the type of plays that Nolan Arenado has come up with this year, the web gems that he continues to come up with on the hot corner, you have to look at these 4 and start to question if this is one of the best infields you've seen in a long time, guys.
This is pulled toward the hole. DJ's there, spins, and gets Chu at first base.
Almost on cue, Jenny, with what she's talking about.
Absolutely. Nice play by LeMahieu. He was shaded up the middle against Chu.
Yeah, but the range and the first step is what determines if you can get to a baseball. And for DJ, he has the bound in his preparation. Some guys will creep or walk into the pitch prior preparation for the pitch, but DJ just hops up and then gets back down into an athletic position.
How did you like to prepare?
I crept. I took 1, 2, and then as the pitch was crossing home plate, I was down. But it's just an individual preference.
I always say this, the camera rarely catches it in terms of your coverage, because you're not going to just show a guy that doesn't feel like, is not involved in the play. But every pitch, in every swing, every fielder is firing muscles.
Yes, and it doesn't matter if how you do it, but you twitch when that pitch is going across the plate because you think the guy will swing. I mean, for Nolan, I'm just watching now in between pitches here. For Nolan, he just sits down. He not literally sits down, but sits into his legs where he doesn't really creep into it. Now here's DJ. Watch how he goes into it, and he hops. And you see him
because of the swing. He moved to the. He felt like he moved. The ball was going to, if it was contact, it was going to be pulled.
Now Troy is more of a walker. He'll walk into his. Watch him walk, and then get set.
And De La Rosa with his first walk of the game. 1 out. Michael Choice will go to first. And that'll bring up Adrian Beltre. Adrian's home run in the 4th inning was a monumental one. He becomes just the 5th player in the history of the game to have 100 or more home runs with 3 different clubs.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. Let's just finish off this thought with the infielders. We showed DJ a moment ago. We showed Troy. I want to show this with Nolan and how he prepares. Because there's no right way to do it, but there is a right way to be in position when that ball's crossing the plate. And as I mentioned for Nolan, he'll just sit, but he's still on the balls of his feet.
2-0 De La Rosa to Beltre. That's a great teaching point, Huey, to young infielders. Right now I'm watching DJ and Troy, and they're hanging out. Look at Nolan. He's kind of hanging out, hands on his knees. But as De La Rosa gets ready to deliver, now you prepare. 3-0.
Well, it's hard to stay locked in mentally for the 20-25 seconds in between pitches. So give your mind a chance to just take a breath. But 5-6 seconds before that pitch is being made, that's when you start to get back that focus.
And that's high. Back-to-back walks with 1 out, and Prince Fielder coming up.
Well, for a great deal, be sure to ask about the Rockies Sweet Six-Pack with savings of up to 15% off the regular price. Call now. Space is limited. The Sweet Six-Pack.
Prince a fly ball and a ground ball to first. And that's a strike. That's all they're going to get there. There
was so much going on in that play with Nolan, the runner, cued off the end of the bat and throwing to second base, where it's the shortstop, not the second baseman.
5-6 if you score with us at home.
Okay, so now he has to avoid the runner. The runner has to avoid the fielder, to give him a chance to field the ball. And then it's cued, so it's spinning when it hits the dirt and the grass.
Did you ever intentionally try to make contact with the runner? And you can't make it obvious, but
yeah, it might just kind of. We did it in the Reggie Jackson in the rundown in the World Series, where it kind of sticks out his backside. He tried to do that as the runner's going by.
Rios 0 for 2, takes down low, ball 1. One and one.
Good guy for Jorge to have at the plate. Rios, .222 average with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
And swinging strike 2, 1 and 2. The day after every Rockies win, get 40% off your online order at Papa John's. Enter the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Rockies leading 9-2. They got 2 in the first. They got 5 in the 4th. 2 more in the 5th inning. They have 16 hits after producing a major league high of 21 last night. 2 runs, just 3 hits for the Rangers.
A slider to get Rios with a couple strikes. He swung through both of them. He called for the changeup and then shook to a fastball.
And that's 3 walks in the inning.
Well, and he also had Rios 1-2.
And enough that Jim Wright's going to go out and visit. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Donnie Murphy at the plate.
Chris Martin for the Rockies out in the bullpen. There's the Arlington native. We talked about Drew Stubbs having a lot of friends and family in attendance. Chris Martin, he might be tied. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Murphy's 0 for 2, and a swing and a miss on a changeup. It's such a good, smart pitch selection. After a meeting, you've walked 3, thinking you can get a first pitch fastball, and he gets first pitch changeup. Choice is at third, Beltre at second, Rios is at first. Actually, Fielder, excuse me, is at second. Beltre was forced out. 1-1. Dela is going to hopefully get through this inning. That'll be all. Looking at the pitch count, and he entered the inning in the high 70s, and he really was on line to pitch a little deeper.
3 out of his 7 starts, he's gone above 100. 102, 102, and 101.
Now it's 3-1 on Murphy. Challenge him here.
Yeah, that's what Murphy knows. From a changeup.
Well, you have to have supreme confidence in your changeup. When you're up by 7 runs, you've walked 3 already. You got a 3-1 count on a guy that's not a big pop guy.
No, but that's the confidence you have right now. You've been spraying the fastball, but the feel of the changeup, it just feels natural in your hand.
Three-2. That was the fastball, and it's wasted, so it'll be another 3-2 pitch.
Now do you come back with the changeup, or you throw the fastball? I think if you feel confident in it, throw the changeup. Just don't worry about overthrowing it. Just slow it down like you have been in the zone. He shook to a fastball away.
I'll tell you something else that's been lost in the offensive numbers produced by the Rockies of late, really all season. And this great play since April the 15th, 14 wins, 20 ball games. Since April the 15th, the Rockies have a team ERA of 3.63.
It gets lost by the offensive numbers, as you said.
Oh.
But it comes back to pitching. Pitching, defense, and you're going to put up the runs.
And another foul ball by Murphy. That pitch at 95.
And with that last pitch, he just set the high for the season for Jorge, 103 pitches.
That is to Arenado. Good throw, and they get him at first. Ooh, Murphy went down hard. He tripped on the bag. I mean, he really went down hard. Hopefully he's all right. 3 walks, no runs for Texas.
but I know that Mickey's right behind him. We see Mickey every day when we walk into our booth. That's our fan photo of the game. Tweet your fan photo to hashtag #COFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Donnie Murphy, as you see some Rockies fans in attendance. Some people have tweeted out they were coming down to Arlington to catch the Rockies down here. Saw some purple over the Rockies dugout before the ball game. It's good to visit with some of those fans. Josh Wilson's now in the ball game at second. Donnie Murphy is pretty shaken up. He did walk off under his own power. So Wilson takes over for Murphy. And Drew Stubbs, who has been cooking at the plate, and he's given a lot for mom and dad, his grandparents, and all his friends to shout about tonight. Pitch at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. Single and a run scored in the fourth, and a double in the fifth, and a run scored for Drew.
And the average to 328.
High fly ball to right field. Nothing easy up in the air tonight.
These are usually the days in reserve during spring training for the pop-up priority drill. They'll wait to that absolute most windy day in spring training.
They crank up the machine.
Crank up the machine, fire those baseballs up as high as they can go, and
see if they can hit
laugh.
bars with it, right? Michael McHenry with an RBI single in the fourth. He had a good at bat his last time up, a leadoff double by Stubbs, and he drove a ball to right field, deep right field, to get Stubbs over 90 feet. Prince will come down the line and make the play. That's 6 straight retired by Baker. Auto glass damage. Call 303-287-5000 or go online to safelight.com.
Chris Martin still getting loose. He's going to come in. Yeah, he's coming in, and can you imagine the butterflies and the nerves and the excitement, everything is running through his body right now.
Yeah, we chatted with him in the clubhouse. He's all geeked up.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, as a team he followed growing up, came to this ballpark. What a long road to the big leagues for him. DJ's 3 for 3, ouch, and he's got to go to first. Got plunked.
Where did this catch it? Oh, on the left elbow. DJ didn't even rub it. I'm good.
Charlie Blackmon tonight, 2 for 4. Scored a run, driven in a run. Kind of a typical night for Charlie. Batting .362. He moved in front of Shin-Soo Choo. He was a little bit behind. They've been going back and forth every day. For second behind Tulowitzki in batting average in the big leagues.
Choo at .358.
Baker's done exactly what Ron Washington wanted and needed tonight. Colby Lewis went just 3 2/3, and here in the top of the 7th, Baker's still out there. He's saving Ron Washington's bullpen.
But that's why they brought a starter up from Round Rock and not a reliever, because of these situations. Where if they needed to have somebody go out and throw 100 pitches tonight, they have it.
Yeah.
Tim Bogar is bench coach right next to Ron.
The thing you really appreciate about Wash, his players play hard for him, and he's a candid guy. This is fouled off.
You hate to use the term old school, but that's Wash.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a good staff too.
He does. It's a good mixture of former players, different types of personalities. Each brings a unique talent.
Inside. That runs the count full. 3-2, so DJ will be off with the pitch. And a breaking ball's popped up. Baker's calling for it. Prince saying, you're not allowed to handle it. You're not an athlete. Couldn't really say that, but it's the old major league thing.
It's still
right?
funny.
Yeah. So Prince makes the catch. Rockies up 9-2, stretch time in Texas. Time for a check of the Cooney Lexus look back. Cooney Lexus for Luxury has a new address open in Greenwood Village in Colorado Springs. First inning, 2-run double, Nolan Arenado, 27-game hitting streak. He's got a couple more hits tonight. Single and then a double in his third at bat. 27-game hitting streak matching that of Michael Kadire, longest in Rockies history. Cargo's had a big night as well. He's got a double and a home run, his 7th of the year. Jorge De La Rosa allowed just 2 runs on 3 hits in 6 innings. He worked out of that bases loaded situation when he had walked the bases loaded. Donnie Murphy making the final out. So De La Rosa here will give way in the 7th inning to Arlington native Chris Martin, who was moving refrigerators a few years ago. Thought his baseball days were done. Had an arm injury. Didn't really play for a couple of years. It healed up. And all of a sudden he found he could throw 95, 96 again. Went and played in Grand Prairie for a guy you know, Pete Incaviglia, and then through the Red Sox chain onto the Rockies in the Johnny Herrera deal.
Well, and it was Inky who called the Red Sox to say, you need to have this guy come throw for you. 6'7", he throws 93 to 95 miles an hour. I've never asked for anything, but have this guy come throw for you. And now he's throwing 5 scoreless times in his 6 ball games.
Elvis Andrus at the plate. Wow. Did you see how much movement that had at 94?
The hardest part for him, meaning Chris Martin, is to not overthrow. You're in a ballpark that you came and watched game. You paid to come watch the Rangers play. Now people are paying to watch you play.
Ground ball to short. Tulo sets his feet. 1 out. I'm not saying that Walt wouldn't have called on Chris Martin in this situation anyhow, but it's little subtle things that he does that the players love Walt to begin with.
Yes.
But you become that much more fond of him if you're wearing a uniform?
Well, because he's letting you pitch in this park. You're sitting in with a 9-2 lead. That helps. But Walt's saying, I don't know what's going to happen in tomorrow's game. Could it be the same? Could we be? I don't know.
Morales goes 7 1/3. It may hand off to
it's a tight game. And it's a tight game.
Nice job, Chris Martin. Atta baby. 2 outs. I'm telling you, Huey, you would know far better than I would, but that goes a long way, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, because it's not just on a professional level. It's not just manager and ball player. It's a personal level, and that's when clubs become special, because it's personal now, and that's what it is for Chris right now. It's personal, and Walt has helped him reach this.
Robbie Chirinos takes a strike. Another hard sinker at 95. When Dan O'Dowd went and did the deal, Johnny Herrera, who was immensely popular, to get Franklin Morales back, it was imperative that Chris Martin was included in the deal. Now, Chris Martin didn't have a name to most casual baseball observers, but the Rockies had done their homework on Chris Martin, working in AA and AAA last year for Boston, and this was a guy they desperately wanted included. That just missed.
Well, and
at
they'd
97.
And they'd also scouted him back when he was younger, in high school, junior college.
This wasn't like a throw-in makes good, and everybody's like, wow, that kid actually is helping us.
If you have a chance, go on to MLB.com and read Tracy Rinklesby article.
Breaking ball lifted to center field. Drew Stubbs is there, and it's a terrific inning for Chris Martin. Somewhere in the stands, I don't know where they are, but there's a whole lot of people jumping around. 1, 2, 3 inning for Arlington native Chris Martin. The Rockies' upcoming schedule is brought to you by CenturyLink. Link to what's next. Rockies beginning a 7-game road trip tonight here in Arlington. They'll play tomorrow night against the Rangers, and then it's a late-night flight to Cincinnati, Ohio. Queen City, 3 over the weekend. Day off finally Monday in Kansas City, and then the Royals for 2 at Kauffman Stadium before the Rockies return home. Get ready to take on the Padres. Corey Dickerson, Troy Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez. Scott Baker still out there. First pitch to Dickerson's a strike. Dickerson has the last hit for the Rockies. Has an RBI single in the 5th after a triple by DJ LeMahieu had driven in a run. He's retired 7 of his last 8 hitters. Everybody in the Rockies lineup tonight has a knock. Top of the 8th inning.
7 out of the 9 guys have an RBI.
Corey's got 2 of them. Second strikeout for Scott Baker. And here comes Tulowitzki. Rockies in this series are after that strikeout are still 50 for 112 or a .446 batting average. Troy a single in the 1st and a run scored. Ground ball to 3rd, sac fly to center, and a comebacker. So he's 1 for 3. He's driven in a run, scored a run. And Baker misses twice. It's 2-0. Troy leads the big leagues in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS obviously.
By a wide margin on the OPS.
It's not even close. This is a tough play for Wilson. Wow. You know, as Troy goes to the dugout, he had a piece commissioned by a guy you know well. Everybody remembers the baseball name Vernon Wells. Vernon Wells now retired. His father here in the Dallas area is a renowned artist nationally, and he does a lot of sports pieces, and he did a gorgeous piece of Tulowitzki with 4 other iconic shortstops: Derek Jeter, Nomar Garciaparra, your old teammate Cal Ripken Jr., and a young Alex Rodriguez with Seattle. His Cargo.
Yeah, if you ever have a chance to catch Vernon's work, you need to. Because he just puts out unbelievable stuff. I have a couple prints in my house that Vernon has painted. And just the wide range with which he can paint. It just doesn't matter who it is or what he's trying to depict. It just comes across beautifully.
Very talented guy.
He also still plays baseball.
Yeah, he's telling us he plays in 3 different leagues. Played college football at TCU, and I know his father, Vernon III, who played for Toronto and the Yankees most recently. His grandfather, this is 3 generations, played. He was quite a college football player also. And Vernon was a great high school quarterback in these parts. He played on that Dallas Mustang team that won the Connie Mack World Series. Chu Freeman was on that team, I think, the next year. Brad Hopp was on the team with Vernon. I don't have all the names in front of me, but there were a number of big guys who became not only future big leaguers, but impactful big leaguers.
It's like those teams from Virginia with the Uptons and Goodire.
Two outs, nobody on in the 8th inning for the Rockies. Cargo 2 for 4. Double and a home run. I don't know how he hit that home run into that wind and right.
Get to the ballpark early on Sunday, May 18th, as the first 15,000 will receive a Super Cargo bobblehead gnome. It's courtesy of Root Sports. Arrive early. Gates will open 2 hours prior to game time. The first 15,000 fans, May 18th against San Diego. The Super Cargo bobblehead gnome.
Three and 2. And Baker works a 1-2-3-8 inning. Rockies leading 9-2. Who wants tacos? Well, follow Root Sports. The way to do it at Root Sports _RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. When the Rockies score 7 or more, they've done it tonight. They did it the night before and the night before that. 9-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hughes, and Jenny Cavnar. Shin-Soo Choo, Michael Choice, Adrian Beltre in the 8th inning, and Nick Massett making his second Rockies appearance. Got some of the rust off on Monday against the Rangers.
And another perfect opportunity for Nick to come in and continue to just come back from all the setbacks he had in a game that's not a 1-run or 2-run game. You also don't extend Chris Martin. You let him pitch in front of his home folk and family. But he's available for tomorrow night.
Yep.
He threw just 10 pitches. Chris did.
One and 2. Choo's 0 for 3. DJ made a nice play on him in the 6th inning. Ooh, that was a really good changeup.
It was, and you're shaking your head wondering how Choo laid off it. He laid off it because he couldn't hit it. You better just take it.
He went back to it. It looks like a splitter.
It has that action where it's not just a fader. It fades and goes down.
The Ford Strike Zone's powered by Ford cars, big MPGs, smart technology, unsurpassed quality. See what happens when fun meets the road. Ford, go further.
And this is the arm action in the baseball action, going down and away from the left-handed hitter. Comes out of the hand looking like a strike, ends up a ball. But yeah, you swing at it, you're going back to the dugout.
Michael Choice at the plate. Ball and a strike on Choice. He hit the first hit against De La Rosa. De La Rosa retired the first 10 hitters of the game. In 3 ball games, Texas has gotten a whopping 9 guys past second base. That's it. And that gets under the glove of Tulowitzki, a base hit.
That was the infield, the fast infield I was speaking of. That just hit that dirt. It just scooted by Troy. Watch this. Right there. Under his glove because of the top spin and how fast it was moving.
Adrian Beltre, 2-run home run back in the 4th. That's how Texas got their run. And Arenado trying to double off Choice. 2 outs. Prince Fielder will wander to the plate. Good pitch.
Going back to the split finger. Resets it and he'll change it in his glove.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
How about that hook?
How about that inning?
Tell you what, Nick Massett is really going to help this Rockies bullpen. A lot more comfortable a second time out. A couple of punch outs in a very strong inning. We'll go to the 9th, 9-2 Colorado. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price.
In Arlington, Texas, the Rockies, as we go to the ninth, have a 9-2 lead. They pounded out 16 hits. A lot more what we saw last night. Let's go to Denver, check in with Mark Stout, get a little preview of the Toyota postgame show. Mark? All right, Mark and Spilly, thank you. Nolan's 3 for 4, so a chance for a 4-hit ball game as he leads off against Scott Baker in the ninth. Up the middle, Andrus able to get there. The Troy Hawkins, Boone Logan, both warming in the Rockies bullpen. Neither one of those guys have had much work lately, and I think that's why Walt has them up.
Yeah, it wasn't until Saturday in the Mets game, the Rockies won 11-10, was the last time both of those guys pitched.
De La Rosa is in line for the victory.
Oh, and he'd also moved to 4-3, but winners of his last 4 in a row.
We've seen him do that in the past, just rip off a ton of wins. Remember the first time he won 16 games, he didn't have any victories until June 1st.
And his ERA is at 4.81.
De La Rosa wins this game. You hope to put it away with a 7-run lead in the ninth inning. He'll improve to 59 and 37 in a Rockies uniform. The only two guys with more victories, Jeff Francis 64 and 62 in his Rockies career. Aaron Cook went 72 and 68. Fouled off by Justin Morneau. Rockies don't have a hit, by the way, since the 5th inning. They had 16 hits through 5 innings. Went 1-2-3 in the 6th. LeMahieu reached in the 7th when he was hit by a pitch. And then the 8th, Baker got him 1-2-3.
Well, two things. I think some of the credit has to go to Baker and coming in. But I also think part of it is that adrenaline of what happened in the first 4 innings or so. And then the late night, kind of catching up. It's okay, we got this lead. Let's just hang on and get away with the W tonight.
Could be some of that. Beltre, 2 outs.
Fans, for a great ticket deal, check out a Rockies mini plan. 15-game plan starting just $165 per package. Go to Rockies.com and get a great ticket deal.
Drew Stubbs, 2 for 4 tonight, single and a double, scored a couple runs, got the average to 323. Curveball's inside. Stubbs makes his offseason home in Austin. Not a bad place to live. 3 straight multi-hit games for Drew. He's got 8 hits the last 3 games. And that pitch misses, and A 2-out walk to Stubbs. That'll bring up Mike McHenry.
Michael McHenry.
Couple lefties tomorrow. Franklin Morales against Matt Harrison. You got to believe you'll see Drew Stubbs back in there again.
We'll probably see Brandon Barnes in tomorrow.
Almost guarantee it. And this one's popped up. Josh Wilson in short right field. He's got it. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning in Arlington. The Rockies 9 and the Rangers 2. Bottom of the 9th inning. Fan Friday's back. Tweet us your questions at rootsports_RM using the hashtag FanFriday for a chance to have your questions answered by us on air during Friday's game against the Reds. Alex Rios is going to be the first up. Boone Logan is out there to throw the 9th inning for the Rockies. Jorge De La Rosa went 6 innings, allowed a couple of runs on just 3 hits. Chris Martin a scoreless inning, Nick Massett a scoreless inning, and now Boone Logan looking to get 3 outs and shake hands, and then everybody gets to bed.
In that order. After the short night, you get a little bit of interrupted sleep, but Boone Logan needs to work. He's out there, hadn't pitched since Saturday at home against the Mets. That game he threw just a third of an inning. But has he been everything as advertised? He can get right-handers and left-handers out. There's 4 walks in 10 to 13 inning, or 10 to 13, excuse me, 10 in the 3rd inning, and 17 strikeouts.
Rios tonight 0 for 2 and a walk. Ball and a strike on Alex. He's got 3 20-plus home run seasons to his credit. Got a couple of 30 stolen base seasons, a couple 20-plus stolen base seasons. Scouts go and see a guy like this and they say he's toolsy.
Well, he also has the size. It's the other thing that they look for, and what else can he do to complement it? That's what's happening right now across the country with the amateur scouts. They're out there still looking for players and double checking and cross checking and having everybody else come put their eyes on a player, determine where he's drafted.
Rios lines it foul. If you have auto glass damage, call SafeLight at 303-287-5000 or visit them online at safelight.com. Rios was a #1 pick in '99 of Toronto out of his native Puerto Rico. 19th pick in that June draft of '99. 3-2 on Alex Rios. And a ground ball toward the hole. Arenado. Yeah, he hadn't had one of those tonight, so it would not be fair for us to leave the yard without being able to star a play by Nolan Arenado.
And this will earn the respect of your teammates. In a 9-2 game, you're still laying out for a ball to help your pitcher. I mean, this is just every night occurrence. It's so much fun to be a part of. The dive and then the strong throw across the diamond. The Rockies are just 2 outs away from tying the Giants, who lost today. Lost at Pittsburgh. Rockies and Giants would be tied.
Two strikes quickly on Josh Wilson. First AB for Wilson. And the Giants have played extraordinary baseball. Said this the other day in the MLB.com weekly power poll, for what it's worth. 3 teams in the NL West in the top 7 in baseball. The Giants were listed #1. The Rockies were #5. That's before this week started with what they've done to Texas. And the Dodgers were #3. With the bare hand, DJ LeMahieu, 2 outs.
DJ's watched enough of Nolan barehanded in baseball. I can get in on this action.
It'd be impossible to watch this team play and not be impressed if you're a scout or a fan. Rockies are going to make a pitching change here, and you say, what are they doing? They're up 7 runs, but that's why LaTroy Hawkins was up. Boone Logan got 2 hitters, going to bring in LaTroy just to get some work, a little bit of work. And that's why Walt's taking the baseball from Boone Logan. Here comes LaTroy. We'll come back. 2 outs in the 9th. The Rockies up by 7 runs.
Rockies to clinch another victory against the Rangers. It'll be LaTroy Hawkins who will get that last out. Earlier today on Instagram, he posted a picture of being home. He lives very close, well, just about 56 miles from the ballpark, but he's staying at his home. He got the chance to wake up, make his daughter breakfast, take her to school, and of course, she had to represent her Rockies for all those Rangers fans with her jersey. I saw her up in the stands, and she had a smile from ear to ear. So glad that Dad's home. It's a long season. It's a long grind. But, hey, guys, when you play 20 seasons in the big leagues for LaTroy, he always spends his off day at home. He said that's the best place to be.
Great story, Jenny. Here's LaTroy facing Elvis Andrus with 2 outs in the ninth, and the first pitch in there for a strike. Andrus tonight has hit 3 ground balls. Actually, 1 was on a bunt attempt. He's 0 for 3.
And that number, that 18, just once in the last week, is why he is pitching in this game. And you don't want to put him out there the next time when he's trying to protect the lead and lock down the game on the 3-2, 4-3 affair.
That's right there at 93, and it's 1-2. And that's bounced foul. Two and two. Ground ball, that's fair, past the diving Nolan Arenado. And Elvis Andrus with a double. Well, a reminder, we'll be back here at Globe Life Park tomorrow as the Rockies conclude this 4-game set against the Rangers. We're on the air at 5:30 in the Mountain Time Zone with our pregame show, and then the ball game will commence about a half hour later. Rockies and Rangers on Root Sports tomorrow. Leonis Martin at the plate with 2 outs. Fastball in the outside corner for a strike.
Same intensity, same focus for LaTroy. 9-2 game or a 3-2 game.
Inside. Good pitch. That's curveball.
That's where the extra humidity and moisture in the air will help this curveball come out of the hands and bite down to the ground.
1-2, 2 outs in the ninth. The Rockies up by 7. And this should get it done. Ground ball to DJ, and the Rockies have taken 3 in a row from the Texas Rangers. The final score tonight, 9-2. Well, for those that said it's just Coors Field, take a look at the scoreboard. 9 runs, 16 hits. All of that put up in the first 5 innings tonight as the Rockies cruise to the 9-2 victory. Jorge De La Rosa is now 4-3. He's won 4 straight. Colby Lewis takes the loss. He's 2-2. And the Rockies have tied the San Francisco Giants for the top spot in the National League West.